So hello to everyone. I hope you had a good start of the day. Welcome to the Weiler Wednesday webinar. My name is Ushko Vori and I'm a marketing manager at Weiler Abrasives EMEA. So today we will talk about the large cutting wheels with our product manager, Doris Vrečko. And the webinar will last around 30 minutes. We are recording it and it will be available on our web page. So before we start, let's shortly just to renew or go through again with some Zoom tips. So all participants have been muted. This is just to prevent any background noise. We will use a chat function on the around halfway where we will give you an opportunity to win a present. So please submit answers for this giveaway to the chat function. The other one is questions and answers. So if you have any question, comment, you can submit it throughout the whole webinar. So it doesn't matter the timing, just write in question and answers, use question and answer icon. Please be careful and really for questions and comments, use this one because this one is being archived and we can also then follow up with you later. So because the chat function is not available then after the webinar anymore. Okay, so next I would like to invite you to visit us online. I'm sure you are already familiar with that, with our webpage, weilerabrasives.com, and also to invite you to visit our social media channels to check our regular posts. Next, I would like to invite you to take a look of our short corporate video before we jump to Doris. Okay, thank you for watching this video. We are finished with the intro and I would like Doris to take over the stage. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. First, quick peek in today's agenda. Today, we will talk about large cutting wheels. And by that, I mean diameters between 300 and 400 millimeters. Because these wheels are meant for very different machines. And so we will cover that first. And after that, we will explain how to choose the right cutting wheel, because this is very important for maximizing your performance and, of course, also safety. Because, for instance, if we mount tires for dry weather on a race car when it rains, it can be very dangerous. And on the other hand, if we mount best rated tires on a low power old vintage car, we will not see any benefits of the tires. They will just be very expensive. So that's why it's important to understand the products, but it's critical that we understand the tools that we are using, also their capabilities and as well as their limits. So now we will take a few minutes to talk especially about the tools. We will start with chop saw. Chop saws are portability is a blessing and a curse at the same time. They are great choice for job sites due to their lightweight. They are very easy to start and they're very easy to operate. But on the other hand, their lightweight also means smaller and low-powered motors, and are very often overpressured by operator. And because of their portability, these saws are often used on floor or on different tables and many other surfaces. But to ensure safety, it's very important that chop saws are used on even stable work surface to minimize the vibrations. And also remember that material should be safely clamped. Moving on to stationary machines, which are much bigger and bulkier pieces of equipment. So they demand their own space in the shop, but they are very stable and less portable, of course. Motors are at least twice as powerful as chop saws, and they are more suitable for cutting larger profiles. An operator will almost never overpower this type of saw, but appropriate clamping here is much more important because of the heavier power. Wheels for these machines are made with heavier reinforcement to manage the additional power from the saw, because this machine will not stop if the operator applies too much pressure. That's why these wheels are also noticeably thicker than chop saw wheels. And as always, you should check the maximum RPMs on the wheels first before start working. And if you see this pictogram on the wheel, it's only suitable for automatic guided stationary machines, even though the RPMs fit. If the wheel does not have this pictogram, it can be also used on the manually guided stationary machines. Moving on to gas saws are also highly mobile and very powerful machines. They require regular maintenance, and they are a little more. They need a little more time to start. Sorry. They are very noisy and bulky and heavy, but again, very useful for cutting various materials such as concrete and steel and asphalt and many others. They are built to last, and actually the only big machine where you take the tool to the workpiece and not workpiece to the tool. But we've seen a lot of confusion on the market regarding this machine. Because even though the wheel fits under the guard and it fits on the arbor and also RPMs match, it not necessarily means that it is correct choice due to the side load, and it's not safe to use on the gas saw. Wheels for this machine are extra reinforced to manage the side pressure, because this is a handheld machine. And if you see the wheel has pictogram from the previous slide, it's definitely not suitable for handheld machine. And to avoid the confusion, we decided to add extra image of the machine, this one here, on our Metalinx products. So now we discussed the tools, and now we will go through the product portfolio. The first thing we need to know is, of course, the machine type. And sure, we need to also know the power and the speed and the guard dimensions and the arbor, so we can avoid the excessive durations of the cutting and excessive wheel consumption due to low power machines or insufficient RPMs. The next thing we need to know is the material. Is it steel or stainless steel? So the wheels need to be contaminant free. And we also offer special qualities for cutting stone and casts. They are both made with some silicium carbide, but they are very different, so to perform the best on both materials. And one of the toughest challenges is also cutting rails, because they are made of hard mass of steel, and that's why also special wheel is needed. It's important to consider dimensions of the workpiece also, so you can determine the correct hardness. and we will talk a little about that later. First, we will focus on quality levels. To cover different needs on the field, Weiler is offering two quality tiers for end users, so Pro tier and the Max tier. Our Pro Performance line delivers the best performance, price-performance ratio, and offers long-life solutions for all general purpose applications. And our Max line is the best solution for the toughest jobs. It provides, product provides maximal productivity with outstanding product life. Moving on, here I will show you only the part of our assortment for job saws. And in the first column here, we can see the diameters from 300 to 400 millimeters with the 25-4 arbor hole. And the thickness in on average 3 millimeter due to low power motors on chop saw machines. The second column will tell us for which material the wheels should be used. And then we have the column with maximum RPMs and also standard packing and ID numbers. You can see the quality line here in these little red headlines. And if we dig a little deeper, for instance, in 350 millimeters chop saw, we have multiple options. Here, if we move from left to right, the first item is a two-layer fiberglass Pro cutting wheel. This one has soft bond for harder materials and also provides fast cut and good life. The second one is single-layer fiberglass reinforced wheel for the fastest cut and bar reduction. The third item here is designed for cutting thin material and for very accurate cut, and for especially, for instance, cutting stud. And it is also two-layer fiberglass, as is the last one here, which is a Max line product made with coated grains for the longest life. For high-speed gas saw, we produced extra reinforced products from diameter 300 to 400 millimeters with bore holes 20, 22, 23, and also 25-4. They are thicker than chop saw wheels, but they also differ from the wheels for stationary machines due to third reinforcement. We produce two thicknesses for two different hardnesses for the metal. The softer version is is marked with S, and it's better for really thick materials. And the harder one is marked with P. And this one will get us amazing results with no dusting and with extraordinary life. If the wheel is too soft for your application, for instance, it will wear out too quickly. But if it's too hard, you will see some glazing, and it will be hard to resist the urge to not push too hard. We also offer cutting discs for stone, for gas saw, and also cutting discs for cutting rails. And we covered the details in one of our previous webinars. So you are welcome to find it on our webpage, just in case you missed it. So back to cutting rails, we are producing two quality lines here as well, Pro and Max line. Max line is made with Zerg grains for longest life and the fastest cut. And the Pro line offers the best price performance ratio, and it was designed to cause no bluing and no dusting. For stationary machines, we also have multiple options. Wheels are also produced from diameter 300 to 400 millimeters with bore holes 25-4, 32, 40, and also 80. These products can be, well, that depends on the diameter and maximum RPMs. reinforced with the two outside reinforcements, or one inside and one outside reinforcement. So we offer this product for steel and stainless steel, and also casts and stone. So with that said, I will give the word back to Urška for short pause and the free giveaway.
Okay, thank you, Doris. So first, I have to apologize because that you don't see my video because my camera just broke. So I hope everything else is working well. The first attendee, let's focus now on the free webinar giveaway. So the first attendee that include the right answer in the chat function will receive the Weiler power bank. This is for charging the mobile devices. And the question is, so we will show you a picture, and can we use the product on the next picture on high-speed gas saw? Please look at the picture carefully. So look at the images and the icons that are on the image, and if we can use a high-speed gas saw on it. Okay, thank you. We already have answers. So the correct answer is no. So it's suitable for chop saw machines, like it's shown on the wheel. And I will make a short change now, and we'll announce the winner now, so we don't wait till the end of the webinar. And the first right answer was from Mr. Kumar. So we will follow up with you later regarding the shipping details of the giveaway. Okay, now back to Doris.
Okay, now we only have to go through some tips and tricks to maximize our performance and also safety. Here you can see the two-layer fiberglass reinforced wheel versus the single-layer fiberglass cutting wheel. You can see that on the first one, it's fiberglass is visible on the outside versus the fine, just the smooth abrasive surface on the single layer. With the single layer one, we can get faster and smoother cut because the reinforcement itself does not cut and it just gets in the way, but it is necessary for safety, and that's why single layer is less resistant to overpressure. And here now we can see three orientations of angle profile. It's very popular material. The first one is a straight or pyramidal cutting here on the left. Then it's the L-shaped in the middle. And here on the last one, we can see also some safety concern because a very small area here is mounted, and this can cause some movement once we start using the wheel. And also the vibrations can cause that the wheel will wear out too quickly, and it can also be dangerous. So as we talked in our safety webinar, we always need to approach the material where the contact surface between the wheel and the workpiece is the smallest. And based on that, we can see that we will get the best results with one of the first two options. And if we look closely, the chop saw does not come straight down, but it slightly swing back. So we want to make sure that the point of contact here is at the center or slightly behind the wheel. If we enter the workpiece flat, like shown here on the last picture, we can see some glazing, or the wheel will just sit on the material. And this can cause the operator that he will start to push too hard, and this can slow down the motor. And like we said at the beginning of this webinar, cutting wheels for chop saws are the thinnest. You can actually cut with the thicker wheel, but it's not very efficient. It is safe, but not the other way around. Do not use the wheels meant for chop saws on stationary or petrol machines. Just remember the pictograms. And here now we can see here on the top some more efficient and less efficient orientations of the same square tube. And sometimes we cannot orient the workpiece, for instance, like this one round bar here below. But sometimes we can increase our efficiency by rotating the workpiece correctly, here like the C channel here. So whenever it's possible, enter the thinnest point to get the fastest and the cleanest start of the cut. And this basically goes for all types of the machines. So now just to wrap up, like always, safety is always first. And be careful to choose the right wheel for your tool and application. And remember to properly clamp it, but not over tightened. And then secure the saw and the workpiece to minimize the vibration. And remember also the next tips to increase your productivity. Pushing harder will not cause the wheel to cut faster. And that's why also don't use thick wheels on chop saw, and enter the workpiece at the thinnest point and let the wheel do the work. So this is all from my side for today. Now back to Urška to see if we have any questions.
Okay, thank you, Doris, for a great and a very interesting presentation. So now it's the time to submit your question. If you have any kind of a question or any kind of a comment, please use this question and answers icon, and we will answer it. So we have received a few, and let's start with Mr. Sergey. So what the difference is between cutting wheels for hand and stationary machines?
The difference is in number of reinforcements. The cutting wheel meant for gas saw, it has 3 layers of reinforcement, so it can resist all the side pressure because the operator holds this machine in hands. Versus the cutting wheels for stationary machines can only have 1 or 2 because it can also just go up and down. There is no side pressures in this kind of machines.
Okay.
So I hope that answers your questions.
Okay. Thank you. The other is, you mentioned that internally reinforced chop saw wheels cut faster than externally reinforced. How faster is that?
Well, approximately 15 to 20%. Of course, if everything else is the same, so I mean quality tier and the hardness, and that the wheels are approximately the same age, because our fast products does ages with time, and they are affected by humidity. And the older they are, the softer they will be. And that's why they will also cut faster.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So please really use question and answer icon for questions. The next question is, so how is your production wheels with 1 layer, and if they correspond to OSA?
Yes, all wheels are tested before they leave our warehouse. We test them on quality and also safety, so we make sure that everything is according to standards and also to OSA.
Okay, so what is the shelf life for these wheels?
The shelf life, our wheels has the expiry date. It is also written on the wheels, and it is 3 years from days of production.
Okay. The next question is, do you use also AO and ceramic grain in the wheel? And when yes, what is the advantage?
We use here in this large assortment just zirc wheels, just zirc grains, but we use ceramic grains in our other assortment. The advantage is that the ceramic wheels are self-sharpening, so they get sharper during the work. They stay sharp during the work, and advantage is more removed material and smaller consumptions of the wheel.
Okay, great, thank you. The next question is, these wheels consume less power.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
I think the question is if these large wheels, so cutting wheels, consume less power. If that has the connection.
Do you mean the power of the machine?
In the question, it doesn't say. So the question was just stated. So it is does these wheels consume less power? Maybe if this has connection with the power of the machine using large cutting wheels?
Well, we always need to let the wheel to do the work, so we don't apply too much pressure, because this can slow down the motor. If we push too hard, it can slow down the motor, and this is very depending on the power of the machine itself. If the motors are low powered, it can affect the machine also, yes.
Okay, so now we already answered the question regarding the high pressure. And the next question is if we have any special products for titanium.
Yes, we do. We have, it's not yet in catalog, but just send us an email with requiry and we will follow up with that.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is, do you use chemical additives in the binder to reduce temperature?
Well, I cannot discuss that. It's our secret.
Okay, thank you. I think we are finished, or we have reached and answers all the questions. And so we have reached to the end. And before we close this webinar, I would just like to announce and to inform you that we have finished with the webinars in metal fabrication for this year. And thank you very much for attending. As already mentioned several times, all the recordings are on our webpage. And we are already working on a new schedule. So schedule for 2021. We are preparing new webinars, new content with our product managers. So keep in touch with us, follow us on social media, and we hear us and see us, hopefully, when my camera will work again next year on webinars. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Bye.